Hello there! So today we are going to be exploring the world of Wikihow. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is Wikihow, Chloe, and how does this relate to art in any way? Well, I shall tell you. Wikihow tells you how to do things in a very obvious and unhelpful way. And I'm curious to see what kind of art tutorials they have on here, because I know they have a few, and I'd like to learn how to make art from Wikihow. So let's get started.
Okay, because I know that a lot of people are going to probably complain at me for this. I'm going to put a quick disclaimer in here. Wikihow does actually have some helpful articles that I have myself used in the past. So I'm by no means saying that all articles on there are like this, but just a good portion of ones I've seen are like this. So me reacting to them, it's all in fun. It's all for fun. So yeah. Okay, back to the video and don't get offended.
How to art. Okay, here we go. This is all nail art. Never mind. Artist. Okay. 4 ways to become a professional artist. This one has 292,000 views. So we might as well have a look at this one. Okay. Steps. Get educated. I mean, obvious. That's what we're doing on this article in the first place. Okay. Figure out your weak points and attack them full on until you have overcome them. For example, if you're a classical portraitist who cannot draw feet, then you probably need to draw as many feet as you can until you actually can draw feet. No. Never would have thought of that. Never would have thought of that. Okay, here we go. Research your subject. Even an imagined piece must be developed. Okay, let's put on our fancy voice for this, shall we? Okay. Even an imagined piece must be developed from observational memory and knowledge. A scientific and structural approach is key for creating a successful illusion. So if you use some fancy words, it sounds more professional, even though you're basically just saying, get a book out and do some research. But as we all know, you can't really learn a lot from books. You learn more by doing when it comes to art, not so much by the reading. Let's just carry on. Pay close attention to your composition. The rough stage is for this very purpose. Yes, I agree, this is actually good advice, but why is she actually showing you part of the grass? Like, you got a lovely scenery, but no, let's point at the grass. Make the colours good. Learn about the nature of sight and the science of light. Look at photos, but don't copy them. Don't use reference photos. Real artists don't use reference photos. Pay attention to the quality of your materials. Despite the fact that a good artist can make any materials look good, we've got a lovely little sort of scratch texture. You should give yourself the best and most comfortable, unfortunately, often the most expensive art supplies. After all, you want to be a professional, right? Wouldn't a professional use the good stuff? No. Literally the purpose of my channel is to show you that you don't need expensive art supplies. Sure, you know, if you can afford more expensive supplies and they're better, go for it. But you don't need to start off with expensive supplies. It's a waste of time because you might spend hundreds of dollars on an art supply that you hate and then give up, you know, because you waste all your money. You at least need to try and see which art supply that you like most. Select and use only the details you need. The rest of added embellishment is just added distraction and wasted time. Use differentiation in detail to add emphasis to your piece. The person that wrote this reminds me of myself when I was in school trying to hit the word count. Let's look for another tutorial now because this one's not helping me too much. Here we go. 3 ways to be a good artist. So we're not going to be a professional now, we're just going to be a good artist. Practice your art every single day, making it a daily habit. That is good advice. I will say that. Very good advice. Humans improve much faster through daily effort, and even 10 minutes a day can be better than 2 hours once a week. This I don't actually agree with because I feel like in 10 minutes, you're going to be rushing a piece. You're never going to fully learn something if you're only spending 10 minutes in one sitting. In my personal opinion and personal experience, I did much better working 2 hours on one piece solidly once a week than I ever would working 10 minutes a day, because you're never going to fully just get that sit down, work through, done. You don't get that with 10 minutes a day, so I don't agree with that. If you disagree with me, leave a comment, let me know, but I don't personally agree with that. Ooh, look at this face. That's definitely me. I think they took a picture of me from YouTube. Every artist has areas and skills they're not very good at. Very true. When in doubt, practice realism, even if it isn't your artistic form of choice. I'm curious to see why they say this. Say you love to make impressionist, brightly coloured portraits in the style of Vincent van Gogh, Goth, or abstract cubist paintings like Picasso. While neither of them look like anything you ever see in real life, both men are masters of realistic portraiture. You need to know the rules before you can break them. That is incredibly true. You do. Absolutely. And I had a lot of people tell me this, especially when I was trying to do and still when I'm trying to do stylized characters. If you don't know the basics of regular anatomy, you can't really break the rules unless you actually know the rules in the first place, if that makes sense. So I do agree with this article. I don't think that you have to learn realism. I think you should definitely learn the human body if you're someone that draws a lot of characters. But if you are someone that just likes to make more cartoony styles, I wouldn't say that you should have to do realism first in order to be good at that. I think studying the world around you, yes, very important, but you don't have to make them photorealistic is I guess what I'm talking about. But I think it's a personal choice really. I think anatomy, sure, definitely try and practice real life anatomy and draw from real life. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. I'd be curious to hear other people's thoughts on this. This guy, now he is very, very, you can tell he's an artist because he stood there in his pajamas. We do it all the time. Put together an online portfolio to showcase your work and talent. Yes, I've done a couple videos on this recently. He is creeping me out though. Look at that face. He is like, do you want my business card? Take my business card. Devote time every day to self-promotion and social media. It isn't always a ton of fun, but it's absolutely essential if you intend to be a professional. No one wants to champion your art but you, and in its own way, it is a good thing. You no longer have to hope the right person shows up in your gallery. Instead, work hard online, and you can even make money that way. 100% agree with this. It's very important if you are trying to be a professional artist. Try and get your social media out there if you can. It's very difficult. It does take time. It takes years. In my case, it took me years. But you can get there if you're consistent enough. That was quite a good article. I'm quite happy with that particular one. 4 easy ways to dress like an artist. Okay, being practical. Wear comfortable clothing while you work. As an artist, you'll be spending long hours honing your craft. Whether you're working at an easel or on a computer, you want to make sure you're as comfortable as possible. I think that's pretty obvious. Nobody wants to sit in jeans. Protect your clothing. I don't do this. Probably should take this advice. Avoid working in clothes that you mind ruining. Again, pretty obvious. Work with what you have. As a young artist, you probably don't have a lot of money. Rude. Don't assume things. Wikihow. Don't be rude. Some people have expensive tastes. Some people have rich parents. Okay? Don't judge all young artists. Instead of pining for designer jeans way out of your price range. Yes, sorry, I'm gonna go buy $100 pair of jeans that I can make my art in just because they're designer and no one's gonna see them but me. Stop paying attention to brands. Again, stop assuming that all young artists don't have very rich parents. Above all, to look like an artist, you should dress how you want to. Then why are you telling us not to buy designer jeans? So this whole article you've been telling us not to buy expensive designer jeans or pay attention to labels, but you're telling us to dress how we want to dress. So this article was absolutely pointless. How to mix green paint. Let's check this one. I could just tell you without having to read this article, you need to mix blue and yellow together and then you would get a green. But I mean, that's just the easy way, isn't it? Yellow paint. Put a coin-sized drop of yellow paint onto a palette. Blue paint. Add a drop of blue paint. Mix the colours together. Oh look, green! No way! I did not expect that. I'm slightly worried that this adult, that is definitely adult-sized hands, is making a tree that looks like that. Okay, mixing different shades. Again, pretty obvious, you just mix different parts of each colour. You can add some white to make a lighter green. If anyone wants a lighter green, you just add a lighter colour, as in white, to make it lighter. Okay, this one says if you want a darker, duller shade of green, you should add black. This is wrong. Do not add black to your paint. Instead, look at the colour wheel. If you have a green and you want to make it more dull, you would add the complementary colour, which, if you look at the colour wheel, the complementary colour is the colour that is opposite the original colour on the colour wheel. And what is opposite green? Red. Exactly. Red. You add some red to your green, just a little amount. That will make it a little bit darker, a little bit duller, and that is how you dim? You make your colours duller. 3 basic ways to draw people step by step. I swear if this tells me to go and study people or go and study and read books on that, I will not be happy, because this article is supposed to tell me how to draw people step by step. Sketch the wireframes and positions for your characters or people. Sketch the body shapes needed to help you build the figures' bodies. Sketch the details for the face, clothes, shoes, features, etc. Refine the sketch using a smaller tipped drawing tool. Draw the outline over the sketch. Erase and remove the sketch marks. Add colour. For the head, sketch a circle and then add a sharp curve at the bottom of it to form an upside down egg shape. Draw the neck next. 2 short, straight lines, roughly ears width apart. Draw a horizontal line perpendicular to the base of the neck, but very lightly. Draw 2 ovals slightly longer than the vertical length of the head. This is not helping anyone, is it? This is just pointless. I've never seen anyone draw a body with sausages for arms and a rocket ship for a body. That's... So that is it for today. So thank you so incredibly much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed me going through these articles. If you'd like me to do it again, or maybe even follow tutorials from this at some point, do let me know in the comments down below, or leave a like as well. If this video gets, I'm going to give this an obscene number now, if this video gets 10,000 likes, I will do some tutorials from Wikihow. Okay, there we go. Wikihow, to be fair, does have some okay articles, like there's one that tells you how to kiss. I don't really know how that's going to help anyone. But yeah, thank you so incredibly much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.